Bimageddon is over, and the running back class is back to being loaded as ever. Let's get into these rankings. With McCaffrey out again this week, Derrick Henry continues to sit atop the list. With either 30 touches or 3 touchdowns in every week since week 2, there's no safer bet to be at the top. We've even started to see Henry get involved in the passing game for the first time. Henry should be everyone's unquestioned RB1. DeAndre Swift continues to be the most underrated back in the league as he comes in at number 4 on my list. His involvement in the receiving game has been a lethal part of his game through 7 weeks, as they've accounted for 68% of his total fantasy points. With 4+ receptions in every game this season, he's got an incredibly safe floor on a week-to-week basis. One spot later, I've got Aaron Jones, who should be in line for a monster workload against the Cardinals. Devontae Adams and Allen Lazard are both out this week, making Jones the primary receiving threat on this team. In the 6 games without Adams in the lineup over the past 3 seasons, Jones averages 5 receptions and 26 PPR points per game. Alvin Kamara's got a tough matchup this week, so I've moved him down to 10 against the Bucs. He tore up the Seahawks defense in the first half last week, but they completely phased him out in the second half. This offense went to shit once they couldn't get him the ball anymore, so expect the Bucs to do the same. Nick Chubb should be back this week, so he's rounding out my top 12. Dearness Johnson carved up the Broncos defense with both Chubb and Hunt out last week, so he will likely take a significant portion of Hunt's workload while he remains out. The Steelers are also a tough matchup as they've allowed the 7th fewest fantasy points to running backs this season. Temper your expectations for Chubb in his first game back. In at RB16, I've got the Chicago Bears rookie Khalil Herbert. Herbert has looked incredible with David Montgomery out and has completely passed Damien Williams on the depth chart. The passing game in Chicago is horrible, so expect Nagy to lean on Herbert all game. As long as the Bears don't get blown out early, I expect 20+ touches from Herbert. Make sure he's in your lineup. I wanted to put Cordarrelle Patterson higher than 18, but I just couldn't with how many great running backs there are in the top 20 this week. Mike Davis has continued to get phased out of this offense, receiving a lower touch share every week. Patterson has seemingly found a team that finally uses him correctly, and he's on pace for a career year and has become a focal point of this Falcons offense. Elijah Mitchell has established himself as the lead back in San Francisco, as he ran for over 100 yards for the 2nd time this season last week. Unfortunately, JaMychal Hasty has taken the receiving role, which limits Mitchell's upside, but he's got a safe enough floor to be a back-end RB2 for the rest of the season. With Miles Sanders out this week, Kenneth Gainwell cracks my top 24 as the RB22. Boston Scott will surely take over part of this role, but the Eagles have loved getting Gainwell involved, particularly in the passing game. With a matchup against the Lions this week, Gainwell should easily see a career high in touches. Those are my top 24 running backs for Week 8. Let me know who I missed in the comments down below.